Hello everybody, it's Chibi, and today I'm here to bring you a manga chapter review of Hunter x Hunter chapter 346. Hard to believe I only have 3 more chapters and I'm officially caught up with Hunter x Hunter. It's gonna be sad. It's really gonna be sad when I finally catch up because I know there's no more chapters, and with how Togashi is, we might not have another chapter of Hunter x Hunter for another year or two, or even like 5 years, I don't know, or maybe Hunter x Hunter will get canceled, which I hope not, but it's kind of sad. Just 3 more chapters that I'll have left. That's 3 weeks. So, anyways, this week's chapter of Hunter x Hunter has 2 major parts about it. It has the entire, Zodiac part. The first half is focused on the Zodiacs, and the second part is focused on Jin and Perdiston. That's pretty much what the second half is. Now, I want to dive in deep into the first part before I get into the second part that I really do want to talk about. The first part of this chapter of Hunter x Hunter actually gives us a lot of information. One thing I will say is that the overall aspect of how I found out more about the Zodiacs from this chapter really intrigued me. Seeing, exactly all the different jobs all the Zodiacs have, their different descriptions, the jobs, what they're going to be doing when they go to the Dark Continent, their jobs or situations to what they're going to be doing. I love how Togashi took the time to actually write that all out and give us detailed information about what each individual Zodiac is going to do. And I want to be honest, the Zodiacs needed this information. I'm really glad Togashi took the time to give me all this information on the different Zodiacs, telling me what they are, a crime hunter to a trouble hunter to a freaking ancient language hunter or something. It's just, there's crazy freaking different hunters that the Zodiacs have, and seeing the different aspects of them, it was just really cool. I really like that. I like how Togashi did that. That's something I really enjoy about Hunter x Hunter, the way Togashi actually tries to develop other characters. Not just the main, one character, main 2 characters, but Togashi always loves developing characters. And that's one of the main reasons why I love Togashi's writing so much, because he takes the time to actually develop certain individual characters. Now, one thing I will say is the main point of the first half of the chapter is the rundown of what is going to be going down when we get to the Dark Continent. For instance, you have to where the Hunter organization, Cheadle, our chairman, states that, given the rundown on what to expect when you get to the Dark Continent, Hellbell, gas life forms, Bryon, different stuff like that. Just a lot of information that Cheadle is giving to all the Zodiacs and making them up to speed to where they understand what they are getting into. And that overall aspect, it was really cool how she did that, telling the risk. And one thing in this entire dialogue that actually scared the shit out of me was finding out that the Chimera Ants are ranked B. Okay, that's pretty high. But we find out that the Calamities that we know of are only B+. Let me say this again. The Chimera Ants are B. The Calamities are B+. Yes, the Calamities are stronger than Chimera Ants, okay. But a B+ for a Calamity. Anyone else getting, Yu Yu Hakusho vibes from this chapter? I know when people probably read this chapter, they got Yu Yu Hakusho vibes from this chapter. Because I remember when Toguro and all that, Toguro brothers were popped up, they were B's, B+ and stuff. They were a high-level B. And then we found out about the A class and then the S class and stuff like that. With the Calamities being introduced as B+, they're not even a fucking A. That already shows us that there's going to be something even stronger than a Calamity that we have yet to see. Holy shit. We have to put this into figures right now. With the B+ revealed of a Calamity, and that the Hunter organization, their main objective is to actually capture one of the Calamities, one of these B+ creatures, capture one of these creatures, doesn't matter what creature, but try to capture one of the creatures and bring it back to the real human world. And you have it to where, on the other opposite side of the spectrum, you have it to where Beyond's team, his group, are just going to the Dark Continent. They don't give a shit for what they get. They just want to get results. They don't care what it is. They just want to get something. They want to get something out of going to the Dark Continent, no matter what it is. And so, there's 2 different in-game goals that each party has. You have it to where the Hunter organization, they want to capture one of the Calamities while holding the reins to Beyond and making sure that he doesn't get out of control to where he, you know, runs off and gets everybody killed. And then you have it on Beyond's side to where he doesn't care what. Everybody has their free will to do what they want, but he wants something. He wants results. He wants to bring something back. And so that is the overall main clear-cut aspect of the endgame goal. Now, the thing is, okay, with this chapter, what's really scary about it, okay, is a Chimera Ant is ranked B. Necessarily, I guess Meruem would be a different type of rank. Let's put Meruem in a different perspective, because Meruem was, like, something that was rare among creatures. He was rare among Chimera Ants. It was just rare for someone like him to be born. And this brings up a major question. As I said in my last couple of reviews ago when I saw the introduction to the Dark Continent with the creatures, I'm like, there's no way in fucking hell Meruem can survive that. I'm starting to question that, actually. I'm starting to wonder, could Meruem actually fight? Because the thing is, this is just, you know, hypothetical. This is just theory crafting. Meruem, as we know, was very rare. He was a rare person, a rare being, and he was just extraordinary with it when it comes to power. And even when Netero was doing his absolute best, the only thing he could do was bruise Meruem at maximum. Bruise and scratch him. And even after thousands of hits, Meruem only felt a little bit sore. And so it shows you the power scale of Netero that braved these calamities and braved the Dark Continent compared to Meruem. So the question we have to wonder right now, that one of the major things we have to wonder is, like, what rank would Meruem be? I mean, we know the Chimera Ants, the normal Chimera Ants are a B. And I don't know necessarily if they're ranking the Chimera Ants B class if they're, like, non-Nin users. For instance, I don't know if the Chimera Ants that they're talking about is the Chimera Ants with the Nin, or is those the Chimera Ants that have no Nin? Because if the Chimera Ants with no Nin are ranked B, it brings up an entirely different question. But if they are ranked B, it still changes the factor that Meruem was on a higher, different level of power. And so, would Meruem be as strong as a Calamity? That's the main point I'm trying to get at. Because that's pretty fucking ridiculous, actually, in terms of scale of power. Because I'm trying to understand the scale of power right now. Like, if a Calamity is a B+, Chimera Ants are B, what would Meruem be in this scale? Is he still a B? Anyways, if anyone has any concrete information on that, I'm actually curious to find out if Meruem is close to a Calamity level. If anyone knows, please let me know. I'm really curious. Or, no. I take that back. If I do get the answer in the next couple of chapters, do not spoil me. Please do not spoil me. But if I don't get the answer and you have some form of theory crafting, please let me know. There you go. There, I cleared it up. Moving past that, moving past the power scale, the Calamities and Meruem and the Chimera Ants and stuff like that, there's different other aspects going on in this chapter. For one thing, you have it to where Kurapika and Leorio become the new Zodiacs. You have it to where Leorio becomes the boar, and you have it to where Kurapika becomes the rat. Now, the rat aspect, since technically Kurapika is now the rat Zodiac, I saw something very intriguing about this chapter. For one thing, Pariston says that whoever took his spot, for instance, the rat, the new rat, Kurapika, whoever took his spot is exceedingly well at his job. Like, for instance, he is fucking amazing at his job, and he's like entitled to that position. He's a really good person to be in that position, and Pariston actually acknowledges and actually gives a compliment to Kurapika. Even though Kurapika didn't hear this, Pariston said it must be someone very skilled, knowledgeable, intelligent, to be able to weed out all the assassins that Pariston tried to send into the Hunter exam to try to get them into the organization. So this overall aspect shows you the intelligence level of Kurapika. It shows us right there. So Pariston doesn't need to really just be worrying about Jin. He needs to be worrying about Kurapika too, because this dude single-handedly just fucked up majority, not all, but majority of Pariston's plans of putting assassins into the organization. Now, moving on to another thing I want to talk about, we find out that there is a spy. There is a spy inside of the Zodiacs. Even though Kurapika stopped more assassins, different spies, getting into the Hunter organization, he weeded them out with the Hunter exam specifically to get people to go to the Dark Continent. Like, this upcoming Hunter exam that was done in this chapter it actually was meant to get different people, like recruits, who join the Dark Continent voyage. And that was the overall goal of this Hunter exam that just happened in this chapter. And the thing was, even though Kurapika stopped everything going on, stopped the other assassins, there is another spy among the Zodiacs. The thing we have to wonder now is, who is the spy? We have to wonder this aspect. I mean, there's different questions and people we could probably place the blame on. I mean, who looks like the one that would be the biggest, like, key contender as a spy that's, you know, working for Pariston or just, you know, been planted into the Zodiacs? Who? Who could it be? It couldn't be Cheadle, because Cheadle, as we saw since the actual Hunter, you know, the elections arc, well, I don't know why I was going to say Hunter exam, ever since the elections arc, Cheadle's been very indifferent to Pariston and did not like his ideals, his aspects, and didn't really understand what he was thinking, so I highly doubt Cheadle is the spy. Mizai? He's very intelligent. He's a crime hunter, as we know. He's a very intelligent person. I mean, he went and found Kurapika and got him, you know, to join the Zodiacs pretty much a couple chapters back. Mizai, I highly doubt it. I do doubt that Mizai is personally a spy. But, I mean, he does have a lot of intelligence. He's really smart. I mean, he was with Cheadle in the elections arc. I know for a fact he was, and he was helping out Leorio and stuff like that. But, I mean, he's one of the best candidates for a spy. He's the character you would least expect to stab someone in the back as a spy. All the other Zodiacs, I mean, we've gotten to see him constantly since the election arc, but they haven't had as much development as Mizai. And Mizai being like a spy would definitely be a big impact to the Zodiacs. But the other ones, if I had to say, I really have no idea who would be the spy among the Zodiacs. I have no idea besides that. So, hopefully it will get revealed very soon. Most likely it will not get revealed in these next couple chapters. I highly doubt it. But hopefully I do get this information very soon. Okay, so moving on to the later half of this chapter, the second half of this chapter, which has some really interesting information to be learnt from it. For one thing, the ending conclusion of this chapter. You have to where this group comes into, you know, Beyond's group. He's like, oh, I don't care if Jin is here. He's no longer number 2. Pariston's number 2. One of you need to leave. That's pretty much what these guys come in and say to Pariston and Jin. And then you have it to where, like, we're giving you one or two options. You know, Pariston leaves or Jin leaves. One or two. And then you have it to where Jin and Pariston say, like, no, I prefer to go with 3. No, I prefer to go with 4. You have it to where Jin says, like, he wants them all to leave. And then you have Pariston say he wants them all to die. Pretty fucked up. It's pretty fucked up. I was just gonna say it right now. But the thing is, okay, at the end of this, it just once again shows you the different connections and correlations in the thought process and similarities between Jin and Pariston. It once again shows it in this chapter. They think very similar. Their overall in-game goal, what they suggested, is pretty much the same. Even though Jin didn't want to really kill them, it was still technically a little bit dark, because we know he was probably thinking on the same lines as Pariston. Now, the other aspects of this chapter, we get to see what Jin's goal is. His in-game goal that he's really doing in the fold of Beyond. Why he is there with Beyond. We find out why Jin is finally there. And it was to be expected. I expected that much after the last chapter of the overall foreshadowing of a future fight between Pariston and Jin. This chapter reveals the main objective. Jin is there not just to take the helm and the control of the entire group that Beyond set up, but he's actually there to help out Beyond. He's actually there to help out Beyond, but at the exact same time, he's there to keep Pariston in check. Keep him under his control. Keep the reins on top of Pariston, stopping him from causing destruction to Beyond's overall objective, his goal. And this right here, I find it very intriguing. Oh, there's so much similarities between Beyond and Pariston in this chapter. For instance, as we know, Beyond is restrained. He's restrained, and he's being forced to go to the Dark Continent in, like, you know, impact room. He's always under supervision, like, he's always being supervised. Everybody's always watching and making sure that he doesn't escape when he goes to the Dark Continent. Well, pretty much what is happening to Beyond is technically happening to Pariston. You have it to where Jin is personally by himself. He's taking it upon himself to keep Pariston in check. And you can clearly see when he reveals this, Pariston, once again, shows that evil, menacing look to Jin. And I know for a fact Jin probably sees that. He knows what Pariston probably wants to do to him. Oh yeah. Since he has similar thought processes and that they know what they're thinking, I'm willing to bet that Jin already knows that he's in deep shit. Pariston is probably plotting how to slit his throat in his sleep 10 miles away, or even 1,000 miles away. I know for a fact that's what they're probably thinking. This is the type of dude, like I said last chapter, this is a dude that destroys the things he loves. His twisted love. And that's what, technically Jin is trying to stop. He's stopping Pariston from destroying the things he cares about, like, for instance, Beyond's overall objective. And the thing is, this dude, once again, is showing evil tendencies, that hatred towards Jin. So, yeah, it's definitely building up. Something bad is really going to happen between Pariston and Jin. It's so fucking obvious the way Togashi's building it up, but it's definitely going to be something very shocking. I know my mouth is going to fucking drop when I see whatever's going to happen between these two later on in the future, probably in the Dark Continent, somewhere when something bad is about to go down. Now, one thing though, besides those overall aspects, let's move on to another part of this chapter. Now I want to talk about Jinns Intelligence. With this chapter of Hunter x Hunter, we find out more about Jinns Intelligence, his level of intelligence, and technically how he learnt what he learnt as a person. Now, let's be honest here. Before anyone probably read this chapter, let's be real here, a majority of us probably thought that Jin went to school or something. But with this chapter, it's revealed that Jin never participated in school. He learnt the things he wanted to learn, and that's it. He never went to school. And this right here makes me think about a lot of different things. Jin is this intelligent, this smart, this fucking amazing on Pariston's level, like intelligence level, and he didn't even go to school. He only learned the things he wanted to learn, pretty much. Like ancient and modern, like, language or whatever, or geography, I think that's exactly what it was. Pretty much, you had to where Jin just learned these things because he wanted to learn them. And this is where the overall aspect I'm seeing build up, where Togashi is actually trying to do. He's foreshadowing something right here. As I said in my last review of Hunter x Hunter, you have it to where Gom is actually trying to study. He's actually getting some books he's studying for school. Now think about how this chapter displayed. Jin tells us he never went to school, and he's this intelligent. Now let's go back to Gom. Gom has shown some intelligence in certain aspects. He does have some strategies, and he is intelligent when it comes to certain things, but he needs a lot more intelligence to be at the level of Jin and Pariston. Well, this kid Gom, that's already shown intelligent aspects, and he is the son of this very smart person that didn't even go to school himself, Gom is going to school. And if Gom has the same intelligence level as his father, he can learn, and he can actually go to school and learn even more. Imagine how intelligent Gom is going to be compared to his father, from going to school and then learning the things he wants to learn. Think about the intelligence level of Gom. So yeah, that overall aspect, the way it was done in this chapter, very sneaky when it comes to Togashi. I see what you did there. You snuck that in with that slight foreshadowing, making similarities between these past two chapters. Very, very smart. I will say that right now. There also was a Mario reference. A Mario reference in this fucking chapter. I've been told by Chibi that Jin's character design, his personality, and overall the way his character is introduced, he is actually Togashi introduced into the manga. I've been told that Jin is pretty much Togashi. That is exactly what I've been told. And seeing the aspect of Jin playing fucking games, talking about fucking Mario in this chapter, I'm like, yeah, that's definitely fucking Togashi. That's fucking Togashi. Playing that damn Mario. Playing that freaking Mario. I love Mario, though. Oh, don't get me wrong, I love playing Mario. Super Smash Bros. All-Stars. Oh, fucking great. My favorite Mario, though, would be Super Mario World. That is definitely my favorite Mario out of all the games I've ever played. Or Yoshi's Island. Yoshi's Island 1, not Part 2. Anyways, moving on to actually another discussion. I got a little bit off topic there. Well, anyways, everybody, this is going to conclude my Hunter x Hunter chapter review this week. Tell me your thoughts in the comments below. I love y'all so much. You have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.